Angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here joining me for yet another video, and I truly hope that you are having an absolutely beautiful, magical morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. Today's video is an interesting one, but I have talked about similar situations to this in the past, and so many of you have enjoyed hearing my personal experience when I feel things are shifting energetically, because more often than not, at least a handful of you feel the exact same way as well. And I just felt like this past week has been so crazy, especially after what happened just yesterday. I wanted to turn the camera on and share my experience because, as you know, I truly believe and in my heart feel that I know we are spiritual beings having earthly experiences. And it's interesting to see what we all feel as a collective when things are shifting and moving. So today, I kind of wanted to dive into what the last week has looked like for me. So many strange changes have been happening, crazy things have been occurring, and then yesterday was almost the icing on the top of the cake. And I ended up speaking to Lana, which is my good friend and incredibly, I don't even know what to say, but she is an incredible medium, and I was talking with her about how I've been feeling and kind of what I thought may be happening, and she validated my experience. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about why I feel like something is shifting energetically, how it's affected me, and at the end of this, I really want to know how you guys are feeling. Do you feel as though I'm reaching? Have you had any experiences? Or do you too feel like something is shifting? So where do I even begin? I feel like I've talked about it so much on my channel, but the past couple of years for me have been so trivial, but more importantly, transformative. And I feel like the person that I was 3 years ago, I mean, I still hold her near and dear to my heart, but I couldn't try to be that version of myself again, even if I tried, for better or for worse. Like, I feel like every year, every day, every month, I am shifting into this new version of myself, which is great. But I feel like I've done more growth in the last 3 years in such a short period amount of time than I had done in the last 26 years of my entire life, because I just feel like everything has been changing so quickly. And I look back on who I was 3 years ago, and it's like, her and I are two totally different people. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I feel like energetically, we've all been in one way, shape, or form. And this is just my opinion, obviously. You're more than welcome and entitled to your own opinion. But I feel like so many of us over the past couple of years have been almost forced to evolve and change at such a rapid rate, at such a challenging rate, in ways that we otherwise wouldn't have grown had life had just stayed on its regular trajectory. Like, I feel as though over the past couple of years, we've all been pushed out of our comfort zones, pushed out of our norms, and pushed into these new versions of ourselves. And even if it feels for worse, because there were moments where I'm like, why did I jump to here? Like, I went, woo! No, I'm kidding. But like, it did kind of feel that way sometimes. And I was asking myself, like, why here? But overall, it's like we're jumping into these new and improved versions of ourselves. And it's like we had to go through what some people would have went through in a 10-year span, in a couple of years span. And we had to grow up quicker, or realize things quicker, or awaken quicker. And so this whole conversation of we're all in an awakening that we've been having for the last couple of years, I was on board of that conversation, because I feel like an awakening can mean many of different things. And if you want me to do a video on that in and of itself, I definitely will, because it's a whole other topic of conversation. But awakenings can mean a million things. And I feel like we were all just awakening to all of these different things. And so I definitely felt the growth over the past couple of years. And up until recently, as you guys know, I was struggling with a lot of health issues, wasn't feeling my best self, was kind of in like the depressive episodes and the constant circle of anxiety, OCD, depression, all of that. And then I kind of came to, and I was like suddenly seeing the light at the end of that tunnel, because as I always say, there's always light at the end of every single dark tunnel, of every single dark path you will walk down. You are bound to find light if you keep pushing forward, always. And so I was finding that light, and I was so excited to go into December, and I was like, this is incredible. Like, I feel like not like me again, because I'm constantly evolving, And that's something I've had to learn, is the me that I constantly wanted to go back to, I will never be again. I'm evolving and I'm always me. And I started to feel like me again, in the sense that I felt like my authentic, true, real, honest, raw self. And it was like the second I stepped into that power again of like embracing me, like looking in the mirror and not criticizing every little thing, looking in the mirror and being like, you are Hailey, and like, you are a badass woman who wants to do great things on this earth, who wants to be an incredible human being, who's gonna do her best every day, even though she is guaranteed to be flawed. And I just started like hyping myself up again. And it was like the moment that I stepped back into my power, in the sense of, I'm not letting anybody dim my light. I'm gonna go into this world shining, because who knows what my last day is gonna be. I started having these really crazy dreams. And whether that's a coincidence or not, I haven't worked out in my mind. But over the past week, I started having these crazy dreams. And it was weird with these dreams, because on one hand, the dreams would be these like glimpses almost into my future, or into my grams in heaven and all of those types of things. And then they would bounce into the darkness of the world. Like, I was dreaming of certain cases that I've been looking into, and it was like this balance of like all of these crazy spiritual things, but my dreams were keeping me up at night. And I was constantly getting messages. Like, I would roll over, keep my dream journal there, and like jot down all of these different things that I was experiencing and that I was seeing. And what was weird, and I will do a video on this eventually, but it's so new and fresh, and I'm not the only person involved, was I was having experiences, you guys, where I would see certain things or people, and it was almost like a premonition, because then things would happen. It's too fresh for me to talk on that right now, but trust me, I will eventually. And I have chills right now, like crazy. Anyways, so I started having all of these crazy dreams. And then 2 nights ago, I had these insane dreams where I was almost astral projecting, but you know, if you've been on my channel, you know I've astral projected in the past. And when I've astral projected in the past, I see myself sleeping, and it wasn't like that. It was like my entire self went, and I was in a different dimension almost. And I was having all of these crazy conversations and feeling my soul being rejuvenated and purpose and what I need to do, and filling me back up. And then I woke up, and it was the middle of the night. I believe it was like 3:34 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. So I had probably went to bed around midnight, and then I was tossing and turning through the dreams, and then I'd woken up around 3:34, and then couldn't get back to sleep. I kept trying, and every dream was pulling me to these random places. Couldn't sleep. I woke up yesterday, and I felt weird. I felt like I was astral projecting in my own life. Now, I do want to say this. I do sometimes, with anxiety, disassociate from my own body. So there have been times in the past, and I do want to mention this, because not everything in life is spiritual and paranormal. Sometimes it truly is earthly things. And I've disassociated in the past, where I have felt as though I was living, but I wasn't real, and everything was like a dreamlike state. And so when I'd woken up and I felt this way, I immediately associated it with that portion of anxiety of, oh no, like I'm disassociating from my life, and I am gonna have a whole like couple of hours where I don't feel real, and it's scary. But as the day went on, it was so weird, because it wasn't my normal disassociation. I know there's another word for it. I'll put it up on the screen, but that's what I refer to it as. And normally that would last, like when I normally would have those episodes that were anxiety driven, it would last probably around like maximum 2 hours. And this was going on for hours and hours. But it was weird, because I was weirdly calm, and it was almost like I was looking at life differently. Every little thing felt different. And I don't know how to explain it, other than I felt like it was just like this spiritual moment of me feeling as though, I'm hesitating to talk about this now, because I know there's gonna be people commenting like with all these diagnoses, or saying that I'm in some sort of psychosis or something, which, by the way, if you are not a medical professional, you should not diagnose anybody of anything. But it was just a strange feeling, and please keep in mind, I talk to my doctor regularly about my anxiety. I've talked about all these different things, and yesterday just felt very different. And I ended up ending my night in meditation, and I went and took a shower, and then I ended my shower with cool water and just imagining like myself coming back to my present body and having taken all the knowledge that I needed to. And I woke up today feeling phenomenal. And I started reading a bunch of people talking about how they feel like there is something shifting spiritually for the better. That going into 2023, there's this shift in awareness, and that even people who aren't particularly spiritual are feeling this motivation to be the best version of themselves and show up and enjoy their lives to the fullest, and are maybe embracing some more spiritual things. And I just found it really cool, and I wanted to know if any of you have been feeling a bit of a shift, because I did call Lana today. Well, actually, no. Lana said if I was free to call her, and I spoke to her, and I brought it up to her, and she said there is a beautiful shift happening, and that what I was describing is, or could be very well, a spiritual experience that I had. So I'm very curious to see what dreams I have tonight. Going to sleep tonight, I am going to do a meditation before I go to bed, and I'm going to ask to be shown what it is I'm meant to be shown, and I'm very curious to see what I experience. Grams was in my dreams the night before, and I will again eventually share some of the things that were shared with me, but I would just love to know if any of you are feeling it, and encourage you to do some self-reflection work ending off this year. It doesn't have to be spiritual. If you're not a spiritual person, you absolutely don't have to, but just set yourself up for success come the new year, because I have a very, very good feeling for 2023, and I'm just really looking forward to it. But that is basically like my little story time of what's been happening over the last week. I'm definitely curious to know if any of you have been feeling the shift as well. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's chit chat story time. I will definitely be joining you tomorrow with a crazy video, so stay tuned for that. If you are new to my channel, definitely make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button if you do enjoy my content. I'm uploading every single day this month, so join along for the ride. And remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I will see you tomorrow, and I love you. Bye, guys.